DeAndre Hopkins has found a new team, a new place to call home. It was a big thing. Like he was the last big player out there, I would say, the last wide receiver that we needed to see land because it does sway, the momentum and things. Basically, it changes the landscape a little bit for some team, some division. And in this case, he signed with the Tennessee Titans. Let's go ahead and pull up the tweet about what he signed for. Ian Rappaport on DeAndre Hopkins, two-year, $26 million deal with the Titans. There are $3 million available in incentives. I may have seen even more than that from someone else, but if he reaches 95 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 10 touchdowns, he gets all of it. Here's the full breakdown. Just an interesting way to look at, how the team kind of broke up incentives here for him. And how I hope he gets all of it. Obviously, I hope he hits all these marks. I believe he's totally capable of hitting all these marks. Actually, I don't think they're that, far-fetched for him, to be honest with you. So this is, an interesting situation. I've seen the debate left and right, back and forth. Was this a good spot for DeAndre Hopkins to pick? Is it good for the Titans? Is it good for both parties involved and Hopkins as well? Who benefits from this as fantasy? Do we care? Is it relevant? Is it, a bad landing place for him? I'll say this. DeAndre Hopkins landing with the Titans, I don't think is a negative thing. I don't think it's negative because I believe he's going to get all the targets he needs. We know that he is a target hog on any team he's on, any quarterback that he has, any offensive coach. DeAndre Hopkins gets all the work. It is what it is. The Titans are actually a clear path to all that work because they have Burks, the young wide receiver who a lot of people, kind of hoping for. But in terms of this, he's obviously going to push Burks back, no doubt, no question. And in this case, there's no reason why this team would not just feed the hell out of the passes to DeAndre Hopkins. He is, in theory, the Derrick Henry of the passing game at this point. So I believe if you're asking for fantasy purposes, DeAndre Hopkins all day long. If you're saying, is he top 20? Yes. Is he top 15? Yes. I can see him pushing top 12, top 10. He's definitely able to belong in that conversation. He's talented enough. I don't care about his age. I don't care about any prior injuries. I don't care about any of that. This is a good situation. He's healthy, as we all assume. The age has not caught up with him in terms of his skills and ability. I know it doesn't sound sexy. It doesn't sound super desirable, but I do think that this will play out well for him. I do want to show this from Player Profiler. They put reason DeAndre Hopkins isn't washed. And it just kind of breaks down some of his stuff here: his average cushion, his air yard share, win rate versus man. Obviously, you can see he's top 5 in all these categories that they're sharing here: elite separator, elite target commander, elite receiver. Titans. Hashtag Titans, because they should be most excited about him. But we all are excited about him. Again, like there's no reason for this not to be a, reason for anyone to be unhappy, whether it's from a fantasy perspective, whether it's from a Titan fans perspective, a DeAndre Hopkins fans perspective. This really played out well for, for everyone involved. Obviously, unless you're one of the fans that wanted him to go to a team that you wanted him to go to, that of course didn't play out. And for instance, speaking along that, Patriots were willing to match the Titans' max total of $15 million offer for DeAndre Hopkins per Albert Breer. The issue came down to structure, as the Pats offer came with a far higher percentage of that tied to incentives. So the Patriots were willing to match the amount, but the way they were going to get to that amount was through incentives. DeAndre Hopkins obviously took the more clear path to the money. Money always speaks. Money always wins. In this case, honestly, I don't think, team-wise, I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference. I mean, going to Tannehill, the veteran quarterback, a team with Derrick Henry, a team that's going to no doubt feed him all the targets. It's probably just a better overall, especially I'm always speaking from a fantasy football perspective here, or a DFS perspective. It definitely, I think I'd rather be with the Titans and the Patriots, to be all honest here, because the Patriots, you're going to get, this situation where you never are sure, are they going to feed him every single game? And when you think that they will, like, how could they not? They try to outsmart you and they start throwing the ball at Devontae Parker, or they're, running the ball the entire game. They do all that weird stuff that I personally don't want to see. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not surprised if DeAndre Hopkins also didn't just chase the money, but just the opportunity probably felt better to me. I mean, I just have to assume that. And, we are used to players choosing the path to win. I don't necessarily think the Patriots are a better opportunity to win either. I know people like to make the Titans jokes right now, but I think this is good for everybody involved. And the Titans are obviously making this last push, to win, right? With Derrick Henry still under contract, Ryan Tannehill is getting older. They're going to obviously move on to a rookie running back or Malik at some point here. So, this is kind of their last push, I feel like, in terms of making a run at the Super Bowl. So I respect it. I'm not mad at it. I thought this tweet was also, worth sharing. DeAndre Hopkins has played with Matt Schaub, Case Keenum, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Ryan Mallett, Brian Hoyer, TJ Yates, Brandon Whedon, Brock Osweiler, Tom Savage, and AJ McCarron. I think he'll be okay with Ryan Tannehill throwing him the ball. I think that says it all right there. When you have your concern about Ryan Tannehill, I think that says it all. Ryan Tannehill isn't elite. He isn't even who he used to be probably at this point, but we've seen him, produce at a high level with wide receivers in the past, not just with the Titans, with the Dolphins. So it's not like this is uncommon to him. And this is going to be one of the most skilled wide receivers he's worked with. I'm a super big fan of DeAndre Hopkins. If you can't tell, like I could just I love the guy's game. I love his skill. I love his personality. I love his attitude. I love his approach to the game. So in this case, I can't knock a DeAndre Hopkins signing with the Titans. No matter how bad we want to try to pull that, I can't do it. So if you have a reason why you hate this move, other than you wishing your team would have signed him, let us know in the comments. But from a fantasy perspective, again, if you're asking, hey Neil, how good do you think he is? I think top 12, no question, is an opportunity, is a mark for him. Is where I would like to see him. Is where I believe I can see him. So I think he's that good. I think the team will know how to use him, feed him the targets. They're not going to do anything stupid. They're not going to outsmart themselves. This is, very cut and dry for me. I think he still has the ability. We know what he does when he gets the targets. He's elite. There's just no question about it. So top 12 upside is where I'm at with this. 100%. So if you're asking from a fantasy perspective, that's where I'm at. The cool thing is you'll get him at a value. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people aren't excited about the move to the Titans. A lot of people aren't excited about, Ryan Tannehill being his quarterback. A lot of people aren't excited because they say, well, this is just an offense that runs the ball more than the average team. So you're going to get him at an okay value. That's the beauty of all this. So this is like a win-win-win-win-win. That's what this is right here. Like I'm gonna draft right now, the Scott Fishbowl draft, and I actually drafted DeAndre Hopkins, and I can check and see what round exactly that I got him in. But what I will say is that my thinking was I drafted him before he signed with the Titans, before he actually made that decision. So I just felt that, hey, wherever he goes, I'm comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with it. I'm fine with that. I actually got him in the 7th round. Come on, that's great value in my opinion. And people might have got him later in Scott Fishbowl. I don't know. That's the boundary where I didn't want to go any further. I didn't want to push it any further. I felt comfortable with it there. And again, I was comfortable with wherever he signed. So I just was going to push it as far as I felt comfortable and felt that nobody else was going to take him. But I'm good with this. To me, that's a steal. For me, that's win-win-win-win-win. And there ain't no looking back at it. I'm all for this signing. I wasn't really going to be against it no matter where he went, to be honest. But I do like him in Tennessee more than I like him in New England, if we're being honest about it. And I'm curious. Again, if you don't like the move, why? Other than, don't tell me you want him to sign with your team. We all did. We all want him to sign with our team. That's not the argument I want to hear. I want to hear a legitimate argument for why DeAndre Hopkins will struggle in Tennessee. Why DeAndre Hopkins won't work out with the Titans. Why in fantasy football you're going to pass on DeAndre Hopkins. I want to hear that. Let me know. Drop it in the comments.